poet and social philosopher from Cape Town. Most recently, he was named the winner of the 5th Plaatje European Union Poetry Award with his poem Street Class Diseases. He's published 3 collections of poems as well as 2 children's books. He now joins us via Skype to talk to us about the recent award. Athol, thank you very much for accepting our invite to talk to us. Let's get into it. Congratulations on your win. Tell me about this winning piece that you wrote called Street Class Diseases.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for having me on the show. Poets don't write poems to win awards, but it certainly is rewarding to have recognition like this, which encourages writers and encourages us to keep improving our craft. The piece that I wrote, Street Class Diseases, was actually inspired by an actual encounter with a homeless woman in Cape Town. And what the poem does is it draws this contrast between the man that encounters this woman and the woman herself. And it's a commentary on our definition in society of success and wealth. Because at first glance, we'd expect the homeless woman to be the one in poverty and the businessman to be the wealthy one. Yet in the poem, I flip that around by actually demonstrating the poverty of living a life focused only on materialism. Yeah. And a life of this homeless woman who seems to be a strong character, very in touch with who she is.
I know you talked about it. You don't write works to win prizes, but do prizes mean anything to you?
They do mean a lot. I think personally it's encouraging for anyone who works on mastering their craft. It's a reward to be recognized for that. I've been writing poetry for 20 years, and this is the first time I've had this level of recognition, so that's very rewarding. But I think also what's powerful about prizes like this, Sam, is I think it raises the profile of poetry in society.
Yeah.
And maintains poetry's position amongst the arts. Because I think poetry is important in that often poetry offers us a language that when our other languages fail us, poetry offers a language for us to connect with each other, to communicate with each other in ways I think the other arts probably don't.
It also allows, I think, and a lot of people will maybe agree with me, that poetry and poets have almost had this focus on society. When there's been issues that people can't talk about, we have found our voice through some amazing written pieces that kind of explain our emotional narrative at the time.
Absolutely. And I think that's an important role that poets must play. I often say poets can be the voice of the voiceless. And also in our arts and in our poetry, poets can speak in an uncensored voice. So in a society where we all got to be very careful what we say and what we do and how we do it, and in South Africa we've seen that now with our art threatened to be censored, I think poets do reflect what society's feeling that in other ways it might not find a channel for it to be communicated. And so through our poetry, we can do that. And we've seen that in South Africa through our history and around the world, where poets are often on the forefront of expressing the deep felt emotions and sentiments of society.
Very quickly, we're running out of time, but I want to just get your sense. I know you've relocated, you're now living in the UK. I wanted to talk to you about how audiences are receiving you there. But just quickly, from where you're sitting, you've been looking at the hashtag Fees Must Fall. Just maybe, what is the conversation in the UK around other South Africans, very quickly?
There's been very strong support here for Fees Must Fall. In fact, I've been quite active on Twitter and Facebook in support of the Fees Must Fall movement. My view, Sam, is that it's not just about the fees. I think our youth are looking at a future which is bleaker than what we've promised them. And I think they're using this fees issue as a chance to express that frustration.
Athol, we've run out of time, but thank you very much for joining us live from the UK. He, of course, is the winner of the Plaatje European Union Poetry Award for a poem he wrote called Street Class Diseases. And just amazing to see South Africans doing so well abroad, and hopefully the box will